Good morning, YouTube and Facebook family. Just, thanking God for another day. And I just want to thank y'all here this morning with me and Mr. Black. We're going to talk about young ladies doing the right thing and why do people gossip. And my co host, Mr. Black, will be talking about this. And here we go. And thank you again for coming into my channel, my chat, where you could be anywhere else. Thank you, Mr. Black. The floor is
Uh, good morning, chat room. Good morning, uh, people on Facebook and on YouTube. Uh, hope you're starting this Wednesday off the right way. Oh boy, we got something. We got some talking to do today. But before I even get into that, you understand? What's up with you, party girl? You know something? You was partying all this weekend. You know?
you know what? Just having fun with my family. My nephew and his fiance had an engagement party, and
Right.
then my other nephew fiance graduate. So we had a cookout party back to back, and that's what the Murphys do. Family first. We ain't no perfect family, but one thing we do get together, and you know, just show love. We got to live life, and that's what it's all about: enjoying one another. You know.
Right.
So
Well,
my mother installed that in us, and we, as kids growing up, and we stole that in our kids. So that's what we do. You know.
well, you know something? I was really impressed, you understand, with that video. Uh, like I said, it was all about love. Uh, y'all really had fun. The music you did was, high class music you did, the old rhythm and blues. The people, you understand, that appeared, of your family, look, they they showed a lot of class and dignity. Um, Everything was set up the right way, it was I mean, the rooms in the stand was awesome because like um, when you rent them halls or rent them spaces you dig, you won't understand, probably two or three rooms, the party in. There's the main room where you're doing a dance or what have you. There's a room, you understand, where they got the catering set up a little bit, and still other places, another room where people just go and just chill and talk and what have you. And like it was just impressive. And then, hey, you was looking, you understand, you know, a 10, this weekend. And
Thank
and
you.
then again, a lot of the women were well dressed. Uh, all of them appeared to have, good strong characters. And no one understand, displayed anything negative. And like that's why um, the one reason you understand why I applaud you so much, you dig, on so many levels is that like when you come on YouTube, you tell people that this is the kind of lifestyle that you live, and like it's the kind of lifestyle that I live. I just don't put it on YouTube, but my family has a lot of love. My family has a lot of strength. My family are united. All right, and like I think it's an impressive thing to share with people who don't have that or who could probably have it, just don't know the way. But all you got to do, you understand, is say, I love you and I think well of you. And that's a beginning. But man, hey, if you know anyone don't think you have class, all they got to do is go back and look at that video and like look at the tone of it, the character of it, and like they'll see for themselves. And that don't mean, you understand, that your family is better than anyone else's family. It's just that like your family is a good family. those traditional values, those connecting habits that families should have, it was all there,
Thank you,
all
Mr.
there.
Black.
And
Thank
and
you.
and and, and then one thing that I want to definitely emphasize is this: it was a combination of young and old. All right, young and old, with your nephews and what have you, and the one that's going to get married, they're going to make definitely a good couple. But it was a good example of the young and old getting together and the respect that was given throughout the video.
Yes. And I just want to say good morning, Plat TV. Thank you for coming and showing your support. And you know what? And that's what's all about. He getting married. Then I have my other nephew. He 30. He getting married in August. So this one who gave it was an engagement party. So they getting married next year. So they
Uh-huh.
just gave a big engagement party. And my nephew getting married in August. His fiance have her bridal shower on the 5th, and then they getting married in August. So we have a lot of, and then also my brother giving a Father's Day cookout in June, a big Father's Day cookout.
That's a
So
good thing.
yes,
That's because you know something, the fathers need that. You dig? Because something contrary to what YouTube want to display, what YouTube want to characterize. You dig that black men are not getting married. They are getting married. They are finding that special woman. They are connecting, and they are trying to be strong pillars in the community. You know?
and that's why I say I just had a nephew got married about a year and a half ago. I had showed him his wife. But he was
Hmm.
27 when he got married. So
Yeah.
like I said, my family, all the guys is getting married. All the young
Hmm.
guys, get because everybody in my family married. Now we got two widows and I'm divorced. But we just met buried my brother-in-law 2 weeks ago. Then my sister over me, her husband passed away last year. So, the end of the day is, that's what it's all about. It's all about family love. It's all about cherishing one another while we here on earth. And like I said, Mr. Black, and I always tell people on YouTube, I want my page to reflect my lifestyle. And then my people on Facebook, all my family, everybody I grew up with on Facebook, the one who hearing the sound of my voice. Yeah, I know how I like to, do my little sayings on Facebook, like to have fun and stuff like that. And my Facebook is like one big family, We all grew up
Yeah.
together,
Yeah. I
my
get it.
family, my mother, my sister, my cousin. So like I said, social media is where we get connected and just have fun and bless one another, encourage one another with scriptures. People do ministry, my cousin do ministry, my uncle, and different stuff like that. So
Uh, uh, um, to be the bake, to be the beacon. You dig? To be that shining light. You dig? That uh, kind of take people out of that mental darkness and say, hey, look, you could do this too. You know, because a lot of people have problems in their families, understand, but that don't mean that y'all stop being a family. It
right.
means, you understand, no 2 days are the same, and you can always bounce back. You know, you don't have to be angry forever at your family or even at yourself. You know,
And you know what? And that's why I said I really don't need no friends because I got so many sisters and nieces and nephews stuff. We have so much fun in my family that it's so much going on that really I don't need a lot of friends. You know,
yeah,
I
yeah,
have
I feel
there's
you.
5 girls and 1 boy. So all my sisters, we all have different personality, different character, different styles. You know, like we going to do an event for my older sister birthday coming up.
Hey, And by the way, your brother was dapper as hell. You know, I like the way that he was dressed. You understand? Very classy. You dig? And like if a person who's not familiar with fashion or style or class, they wouldn't understand that the way he was dressed up, all that they had on, you understand, was expensive. You know, but he wasn't trying to showboat or nothing.
No, he
And
no he was just low key. Now my
right,
brother
very
was dressing.
casual.
He addressed that was low key for him.
Yeah, yeah, very casual. And like I like them. And like and what I didn't suspect, he did or didn't even have I mean an idea. I didn't know that he would be so dark skinned. You know, but he was. Okay.
Yeah. Go
Um.
ahead, cause my sister in the background talking, so I'm on mute. Go ahead, you guys.
Okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. So um. The lead of topic of this particular video is about the young women who are out there doing the right thing, even if they made the wrong choice. Okay, young women who are doing the right thing, even if they made the wrong choice. Now, I was listening to, well, I didn't get the chance to come to the Woman Eyes panel, uh, her live show. I think that she gave last night, but I did go back and listen to some of her, talking points, and she did an outstanding job of what a single parent mother go through.
It was
And,
beautiful.
and right in terms of, having, the many children that she have, number one, having, you understand, the different men that she meet in life that she feel, you understand, could become meaningful in her life, and yet it was just another dud. Yet it was another guy, you understand, who didn't have himself together. Yet it was a man who, I mean, a man child who still, hasn't reached the point of manhood. And so many women go through that, and I, um, I can't say that I don't feel their pain and their sadness and their anguish and their attitude of defensiveness after going through this experience. And I, as you understand, gave some good, strong comments. I'm gonna come back to him, but I want to introduce my son-in-law's cousin. I'm gonna just call her Sasha. Okay.
Okay.
I met Sasha. You understand when I came home. You did when I was, free from prison. And like at that time, Sasha was about I say 24, 25. Okay. Now there wasn't many times that me and Sasha actually sat down and talked, but I just observed her, and I became aware of a story. She was a young woman, you understand, who was hooked up with a gangbanger. At the time, the gangbanger was in Washington D.C. and like she had 4 kids by him, you know, and she knew that he was in the life in the streets. She knew that like he was taking a gamble with his life, and but you know something. The thing about young women when they hook up with these street guys, they think that that's only momentary. They think that that you understand is only going to occur for a little time. Excuse me. It's only going to occur for a little time, and then they get into the rhythm you dig of trying to develop a quality life. But sometimes, as it always is with the streets, the temptations are so great, and so many things coming at you. And if you got a strong character, if you got that character, you understand, to make money and to get people to respect you, it's kind of hard to come out the streets. And your woman is always at home taking care of the foundation. But a lot of times she don't know what you do in the street. And like he ended up going to prison. And when I came home, you understand, he was still in prison. And like her kids would always play with my grandchildren and all the little kids you dig in the little city that they live in. And like when I met them, they were real small. They was like 5, 9, 10, and 11, or even 12. But the thing that I really like about Sasha is this. When I first met her, number one, she was always well dressed, and her children was always well dressed. Not once did I ever see them bumming. Even in their casual wear, it spoke, you understand, to like, look, I got style, I got class, I got this right here. My mother cares about me. Every time I seen Sasha, she was always super sharp, always clean. You ever seen that kind of woman you dig that she keep her children clean, and then she's always sharp,
That's how my mother taught us.
right? Because well, in
A
comparison, you
family
understand, to
like
some
that.
in
Mhm.
comparison to some of the other women, it's either the woman is sharper than her children, or sometimes she dresses her children sharp, but it's um that cheap sharpness. But Sasha always kept her children sharp. I never heard her complain about her position that her man was in prison, and like she had the burden, you understand, of raising them kids. Her kids was well mannered, polite, respectful, and I'll never forget this. All right, I got to bring this forth because you know it was the boys and there was only one girl, 3 boys and only one girl, and the one and then the girl, everybody used to call her mama because she had that attitude that she was caring about everybody else. I remember, you understand, that I went to one of my granddaughter's no, one of my grandson's football game. I have 2 sons that play football, 2 grandsons that play football, and like the little kids that they came, they were standing around talking to each other and what have you, and like I caught ear of the conversation, and they was talking about, well, my grandfather does this, and my grandfather does that, and they was just going back and forth, and believe it or not, children have pride, when they're at that age of 4 and 5, and like little mama looked at me, and she say, "That's my grandfather over there, and I love the heck out of him." All right, and the thing about it, The most I'd ever done up to that point, you understand, was I had just spoke to her, but I didn't know her, what have you. But she claimed me as a grandfather, and she was proud of that. And through the years, she always, related to me as a grandfather. All right, and
Yes.
here's the thing. Here's the sad thing about it, because I want to emphasize the point you dig of why I'm even, sharing this story about her. Last year, Sasha's mother had passed away. Okay, just a few years. I mean, just a few days ago, my daughter called me and told me Sasha's father had passed away. They found him, deceased in his home. Sasha was hit hard when her mother passed away, but I haven't had a chance to talk to her because I know she's a double devastated because first you lose your mama and then you lose your father,
Yes.
and she only
Yes.
she only had one sister. Now I'm getting a little bit ahead of my story because there was some more tragedy in Sasha's life. Now, prior to the mother passing away and prior to the father passing away, Sasha, you dig, you know something? She worked her butt off. She kept food on the table to her children. She kept clothes on their back, and she wasn't out there selling herself. Nor did she hook up with another gangbanger or drug dealer, what have you. She worked hard.
She was a
She did.
go-getter.
She did hook up, you understand, with a guy from out of New York, and like this guy, to me, he's kind of corny, but it's their thing and their business. But she really don't even rely on him. She just made the decision, okay, I got myself into this, and I'm gonna get myself out of it based on my own inner strength, and that what is what she has always been about. Now, before the pandemic, Sasha's man had got out, and he returned to Sasha, and like she said, well, I already got a man, but I ain't gonna cut you off from your children. So he came out trying to do the father thing. However, he ended up going to California and he got killed there.
Hello. Good morning, she. Sorry to hear that, Mr. Black.
Yeah. He went there, you understand? I don't know why he went to California because he's originally from Washington, D.C., but he went to California, you understand? He got killed. And that was a blow to her before her mother passed away. And the father passed away just a couple of days ago. But when her man, the father's children, I mean the children's father, like got killed, she didn't complain. She just kept on doing what she was doing. And now this is a very strong woman, you know, and she was a leader. I've seen her argue several times with my son-in-law because my son-in-law is an egotistical dude, and he's got to be right in everything. And I'm talking about I don't seen her go at him. You understand? And like you ain't gonna, make me shut up. You ain't gonna just, put anything in my head and what have you. And you always do that and blah 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 blah. But she was a woman though, and this is in a sense to give her due acknowledgement, you dig, as well as the many other young women out there who are doing the right thing, who don't
Yes,
sit back and bitch and moan and groan, you know what I'm saying, about making the right choices or try to put the blame, you dig, on everybody. She just did her thing.
right.
And I was, you know something, I was just with her children, you understand, at the end of last year. You know, they had a graduation party for my granddaughter, and like I seen the children, they got big as heck. You know, little mama, you understand, she used to be small and tiny. She's staying almost as tall as her mother, and her mother's like about 5'5" or 5'6".
But you know
And
what, Mr. Black, that's what I'm saying. Like, we really had to appreciate the ones that was young, had kids, made mistakes, and doing something out of life. And I see a lot of negative outweigh the positive when it comes to the good ones who made mistakes having kids at a young age or got different baby fathers and stuff like that. We need to put more light on the ones who doing right, trying to do right, you know. And like I said, it ain't where you live, it's how you live. You know, all that she went through with her mother, her father, her mother, her boyfriend, she still stayed focused on her babies and herself because she
well,
knew life had to keep on going. And she
okay.
knows she had to stay strong for her kids.
I want to say this. Um, to shine the light on women like her, we're gonna need a whole lot of spotlights because there are a lot of young girls out there that really are, you understand, trying to do the best they can with what they have. Okay, it's just that when you come into these YouTube spaces, all you hear is the negativity and the bitterness. You dig? Of both men and women who don't want to give these women the benefit of the doubt, who don't even try to mention them. All right?
And I just want to say, excuse me, I just want to say something because I have disconnected to my Facebook family, which a lot of Facebook people don't understand YouTube because they don't be on YouTube. What Mr. Black is saying that a lot of guys on YouTube, not some guys on YouTube bash
I know. I'm saying
women's
both men and women. All right.
bash females to have kids at a wedlock, not married, had
Yeah.
multiple baby fathers, um, call them ratchet, ghetto, just negativity. So I'm just giving y'all a little tip on that, my Facebook family, which I know a lot of y'all don't know nothing about YouTube.
Okay. The reason I said that um, both the men and women, see, they have a lot of women. You understand that want to jump up and speak for these uh, young women, and they don't want those young women. You understand to voice exactly what their real strength is. The voice, you understand, they're like, you know something? Yeah, the odds are against me, but you know what? I'm still handling it. And when I said that, I never heard Sasha speak in a negative sense about her condition. All right, she is living her life the way you think that she sees fit, not based on anyone else's opinion or ideology or their assumptions, but what she is doing as a mother and a woman and as a person. All right, and like it's I'm gonna kind of thread this in now to what Oz was saying because see, Oz you dig is looking at the same thing, but she's looking at the thing you dig well, her topics was is that like, you know, uh, once you have made those choices and you got those kids that they can't go back up into the mother, and whatever circumstances that uh, the mother has to face with those children, you dig? Okay, she got to face them, and like a lot of times, some women get lonely. Some women, you dig, need that affection and that attention from a man, and like instead of really examining the man, they go out there and they grab you. Understand? You dig some strange dude, who has a nice conversation, who know how to charm and flatter, and give unmeaningful compliments, and like once they started knowing the dude, then the dude, you understand, come out being a, Mr. Hyde. It's a Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, type of situation.
Give me 1 minute, Mr. Black. I just want to say good morning to Go Professor. Good morning, Go
Okay,
Professor.
yeah, and like Eyes, you did make some good points because you know something with the random way that some women you dig present their children to the public. All right, until these are strange guys, they should not, because some of these guys are pedophiles, some of them are sexual abusers, some of them are physical abusers, and all that right there. And you can't put the man on top of your children, you dig, if you don't know him all the way. And that's one thing that I never saw Sasha do.
Right.
She didn't get out there and try to lay with it. And I'm talking about a striking, light-skinned woman. You know, if I was to sit back and rate her, I would say, you understand that like she could be even seven, you think, or eight. All right, especially when she gets sharp. You know, and like she could turn guys' heads all the time. You know, but she's a go-getter, and she's independent of all that negativity that we see and hear about so much. And like they live in a good community. The kids, I think a younger son, or older son, I think he's playing basketball now. He's still growing. He's about 16 now, and like no, he might be 17, but he's tall, lanky, and like little mama, hey, she gonna be real tall. She might play basketball, you know, but she have good kids, and she did a good job raising those kids, and she managed to bypass all the negativity that unfolds in these kind of dialogues. And like that's why I'm giving her this shout out. Matter
Right.
of fact, I might just after we get
And
through this
shout out to all the young ladies out there doing their thing.
right,
You know,
right.
we're gonna shout
Uh
out to all of y'all because see, everybody see y'all glory, but they don't know your story. They don't know the pain, the suffering, the trial, the tribulation you had to go through, the persecution, the late night. If you having your baby while you still in school and different stuff like that, had to finish school, college, and stuff like that. You know. So to all
well
my sisters and to all my young brothers too, who had to be fathers at a young age, I salute y'all. You know,
uh uh the reason I said I was giving her a shout out is that like it's one thing to lose your mother. It's a devil thing to lose your father the next year. She lost her mother last year, and like and it shook her up. And she just lost her father a couple of days ago. I know she shook up. All right. That's kind of like losing your foundation, your spiritual foundation.
And you know what, Mr. Black, and that's what I was saying. That it's all about, and I want to thank you for your channel and Go Professor for, sharing y'all wisdom to people here on the YouTube streets. And my people out on Facebook hearing me. And I want to thank you guys too for using your Facebook channel for positivity, because you never know what a person going through. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
they're looking good, they got a good career, beautiful home, dressed beautiful, kids looking good, speak very well, help other people, but you don't know the battles and trials and tribulations they had to go through. You don't even know the midnight hours, the tears they had to cry on their pillow, but when they wake up, get this stuff together before they leave the house and still got a smile on their face and still want to help other people, even when they didn't help their own self, even when they're feeling down, even when they don't feel like nothing going right in their life, and they're still givers. So I want to salute to all the givers out there, you know, because not everybody a giver.
And what I really want her to know, when I eventually talk with her, I don't mind you saying being, you dig, a surrogate father or what have you, that she can, call me up, you dig, and talk with me or what have you. Okay. And like, she got the rest of the family to do that, but it's a dark time for her. You know what I mean? It really is. And like, sometimes you understand, getting over the rainbow and getting over the mountain, you understand, it becomes just a little bit harder, especially when you know you've been working your ass off to get to where you're at in your life, you know. And I thank her and Oz, you did, for being the women that they are, you know, because I really enjoyed her chat. I really enjoyed her communication. Uh, more often than not, all people really need is someone to truly, truly talk to, that's not going to BS, spin BS to them, or just trying to sit back and use them in some cloak, hidden, way. That's all the people really need.
And
And
that's
I,
all. That's all I was saying yesterday. Um, my topic was gossip. Let's talk about it. It's not about being a busybody, about being a gossip. It was about building, encouraging, motivating people.
oh,
That's
wait a
what it's
minute.
all about.
Wait a
Surround
minute.
yourself with people like minded. Surround yourself around people who gonna uplift you, encourage you. You know,
Okay. Well, let's get to gossip now. All right. Because one of the main things that I've seen on YouTube is you have a lot of people that gossip. You have a lot of people, you understand, that are naturally negative, all right, and how they relate to other people. Some that actually have mental conditions. Some that are jealous and envious for no reason. They will sit back and talk about anybody,
right?
if you look at a lot of people who are in chat rooms and saying a lot of the negative comments that they make, and when you think about the comments that you see, you say, now where did that come from? You know, and gossip goes all the way back in the stand. You dig, uh, uh, to Adam and Eve. Had Eve not been gossiping, you understand, with that demon snake, you dig, she wouldn't have got us in the shit that we're in now. All right, all
Okay.
throughout the all throughout the body, you understand that the Bible warns, people about, being a gossip, and you're just talking about things that really has no meaning, but you're just talking about them just to be saying something.
That's right. The Bible you talk about the woman should be silent in church and then a lot of people take that scripture out of hand. And
Right.
majority of my family on Facebook, y'all know what I'm saying. How they had a busybody woman's in the back of the church talking.
Yes. And then when you sit back and really listen to what they're talking about, you say, well, wait a minute. What sense does that make? That isn't about, you know, Christian character or just character itself. I know everybody don't really get down with the religious thing, okay, and that's okay. I get down with it. I know you get down with it.
That's right. That's my
You know,
foundation.
right? God is our anchor. So I'm not gonna ever sit back and try to be a people pleaser. And you know something, and I
I'm
done
a
been talking.
God pleaser, not a people pleaser.
Yeah, I don't been talking about all my life. You see, but I don't waste my time with the gossip because how can you gossip about people that you don't know? How can you even have an opinion? You dig? About a person you dig that you have never really met. All right. And here's the thing about um, this media that we have. This is the opportunity to meet real people.
Right. And
But it's
if
the
you don't mind, Mr. Black,
oh wait a minute. But it's the baggage and the garbage that they bring to the table that makes communication and just plain conversation almost impossible to do. Okay, what you gonna say?
okay, if you don't mind, I just, you know what? I just open up the panel. If anybody want to say anything, you could come on the panel. If you disagree or agree, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. We could agree to disagree.
I don't know how anybody could disagree with a good, strong young woman doing the right thing, or how ignorant it is, to be a gossiper and try to justify it, because that's what Hollywood is about: gossip, celebrities. That's what at times YouTube is about: gossipers, rejection. And a lot of times when people gossip about other people, it's because they feel that the other people are superior to them, and they feel inferior. And jealousy and envy, oh my God, they're twin cousins, you dig. They have the same destructive purpose.
To work hand in hand.
That's right.
Look what Cain did to Abel, his brother.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know something? Check this out. Like I said, we have warnings, you dig, in scripture. Um, People don't heed those warnings, and they just think that they're there just for the sake of being there. But do you know that you understand words have meaning and words have spirits in them? Do you understand that words you dig with a full spiritual presence? And that's how come Christ warned us. It's not what goes into a man that makes a man, you understand, negative and foul. It's what comes out of him.
The power's in our words, in our mouth. See,
That's
it's
what I'm
a little
saying.
thing, but it's treacherous. And everybody don't know. See, what you put out in the atmospheres, that's where it exists. Life and death is in the power of your tongue.
That's
And
right.
you can speak it. When
Yes.
God spoke, it exists. He said, let there be light, and there was light.
Yeah.
And see, it's
Th-
power in our words.
And and
And see,
and
we are made in his image.
and there's evil in our words, and there's good in our words. It's on the person to choose how they want to express it.
And that's why he said, speak those things not which there already is. So you could speak things into existence. It could be positive or negative, you know? And that's why I said the end of the day is I want my channel to reflect how I am. I'm not a gossiper. So I'm not going to entertain nobody with a gossip spirit. And I had said yesterday, when somebody had that spirit, majority of people, how it is on, I can't say Facebook because Facebook, we do a lot of, just, playing and stuff like that. But what I found out here on these YouTube streets, majority of people is not going to act like that. It did not like that in real life. Because if you ain't never had no attention and now you get attention, you ain't it gonna blow your head so big you ain't gonna know how to act. You're gonna be arrogant. Because you mean to tell me, yeah, I don't understand this, my Facebook family, but here on YouTube, people go by the likes and the views. That's what make them popular. And see, like I said, I'm popular in real life. So I don't care if I don't be noticeable on YouTube. I'm popular in the kingdom of God. So likes and view is not about my destiny and my purpose. But a lot of people think because some people have little channels that they're not popular or they ain't about nothing, this and that. I mean, come on, really? I mean, really? This what y'all do on social media? I mean, it's ridiculous. Good morning, She. Thank you for coming to the panel.
Morning, how both of you doing?
Hey, how you doing, She? Salute, brother.
All right. Yeah, it's a great topic, and like one of the biggest things that I dealt with, and I always hear in this space with a lot of guys talking about dealing with women with kids. I mean, you gotta actually know the woman, you know, when it come down to it, like I say, we're not gonna act like there are dudes out here that don't try to say or do whatever to have sex. And once they have that kid, it's not their responsibility. You got a few.
You went out?
I think he went out. He be back. He probably driving because you drive trucks.
Oh, okay.
But he hitting on some good points. Yeah.
Um, let me respond to what you were saying about how people feel that they can become popular on YouTube because they're not popular in real life. I used to be very popular myself, and I kind of reject it now because you know something, it was nothing but an ego stroke. And like my mother always said, never look down on a person that you can't look up to.
Right.
And like I don't need the popularity. Actually, it's a problem, you dig, because you're always trying to satisfy someone else's expectations expectations of you, you know? And it could be draining.
And nobody no better than the other. We all equal at the end of the day is, you know. Pop like I think I'm all that. Just I know a lot of people know me, you know,
Yeah,
and my family,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So I don't know where they're getting this stuff from. And a lot of people on the YouTube streets is inverted. They've never been noticeable. Now they got a page noticeable and they don't know how to act. And it's sad.
yeah,
I mean, come on, use these platforms that really encourage people, you know? Because a lot of these page I don't even deal with no more because I'm not into drama. I'm not into gossiping. I'm not into bashing people and stuff like that. That's not my style, that's not my personality, and that's not my character. But when I get mad, I get mad. When I fight for my community, I fight for blacks' rights, and I fight for different things. I'm not gonna be out there fighting just because I don't have nothing
hmm
else to do. That's not me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go
Yeah,
All
I
ahead.
right, go
was I
on.
was trying to act. Yeah, I was trying not to come up before I had to meet up with somebody, but they called me right when I got on. But yeah, I'm
Okay.
actually headed into work. But yeah, I mean, just knowing the person you dealing with, that says a lot. Cause like I say, when it come down to it, we're not gonna say that there are women that don't do the same. Manipulate guys into dealing with them. So it's on both ends. But as the woman goes into the situation with the guy, and
Hmm.
they have that outcome, you know, she's coming in with her feelings with the intent of this guy loving her and being there forever and together with her, and it don't work like that. You have men that only be here for just one day or one night, you know, and the emotional side of dealing with somebody, you know, my thing is when it comes to a certain point where in the relationship which the woman has the kids. Like my wife, she had it to where she said she just accepted that she might have to be by herself a little bit because, you know, trying to vet and deal with men who want a woman with kids, it's a rough process, you know. And when it comes down to it, you really have to know the person and pull off the veil because some people can just hide well. They can hide and acting like they're just so into you and everything else, and you never know. This person 100% be lying to you every time you talk to them, but you never know. I was on a panel one day, and there was a man. He was talking about how he had a great woman, dealt with her for 10 years, ended up having a child with her, and as soon as the child came, she turned into a different person. So it's almost like you'll never know who you're dealing with at those particular moments. And just like I was telling people, a lot of times I always say this: there's no guarantees in life. When it comes to marriage, there's no guarantee when it comes to your kids, and that's the crazy part. Excuse me. A lot of people want guarantees when it comes to marriage and stuff. Even relationships, you want guarantees that this person is going to love you and be with you forever. It's not. You gotta actually know the person you're dealing with, and to an understanding, get everything handled. That if you're gonna be monogamous, if you're gonna cheat, just be open with it. Some people are good with it, but the people who are not, they just go on to somebody else. See, that's the biggest part in the relationship, just being open. Like something's not right. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about that. That's one of the biggest things that helped me in my marriage. It's just being open with my wife. If something going on or, you know, something not to my standard is not right, we talk about it. Same thing with her.
Okay, sometimes let me just jump in there real quick, because I got to say a couple of things. First of all, life don't owe us anything. It's what we take from life and make it to the best of our ability. Life, you understand, there are no guarantees in life. The only one guarantee in life, you understand, is that we're born and we're gonna die. However, uh, to put a semblance of some type of guarantee in your life, that's something that you got to work toward, or work for. You know, you got to bust your ass, you dig, to make your relationship work and to make uh, uh, your foundation be as strong as you possibly can. Now, another thing I want to say real quick: people don't believe it when I say it, but I never had a problem with hooking up with a woman that had children because I never looked at children as a negative thing in terms of the relationship that I was trying to develop with the woman. You know, uh, look at them, you understand, as an invalidation, you dig, of my accepting that woman. I just never did. All right. And I still feel like that to this day because the children have nothing to do with what the, the mother and the outside man, or the mother and the father, does. And like communication, I hear so many people talk about it. I hear so many people say, well, yeah, we're gonna be about this, but you really gotta truly communicate, and you got to listen. You can
Okay.
go and have it back, brother.
All right. I just want to welcome Go Professor on the panel. Good morning, my brother. Thank you for coming up.
How you doing,
Good
brother?
morning.
Go.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, Sheila, I dropped my email in the back chat. Okay.
All right.
All right. Only reason I came up here is to troll Sheed. That's it. I don't know what
Why?
everybody else talking about. I just want to
No,
troll
it's too
Sheed.
early.
Yeah, I gotta troll Sheed. Let me give Sheed some
Now
grief.
why you trolling Sheed, man?
I don't like Sheed.
Cause I trolled him yesterday.
I don't
Okay.
like Sheed.
Go
Only
P.
reason I came here is to give Sheed grief. That's it.
Oh shit.
I want to start some drama on Sheila E. the Quiet Storm's channel with Sheed.
Okay.
Bring it on. Bring it
I
on.
want to start some gossip. I want to start some gossip about Sheed.
Hey. Now you know we like Sheed, right?
Okay.
We
All
might
right.
team up on your ass, okay?
All right.
So,
Let's go.
watch out.
Let's go. I'm ready. Let's go.
No, go on, make your point, brother.
I made my point.
Okay.
And
Hey,
we just gonna slide on by Go Professor because he's in his feelings right now. So we ain't gonna say nothing.
Hit one time, Sheed.
Hell no.
Yeah, that's what hey, Mr. Black, that's what I do with the guys when they come on the panel and they be all emotional, like they want to cry, and I say, get out your feelings, man. Don't do all that.
I'm in my
Talk
feelings
this
right
men.
now. I'm in my feelings right now when it comes to Sheed.
Hey, you're interrupting the discussion. Come on.
Well, no. I was going to I was going to ask him. She, what do you think about, the people who gossip? And
Well, the part when people come in the panels, just come in the chats to gossip, you gotta understand, it's the entertainment side because most of these people don't have nothing to do. So the best thing for them to do is to talk about people, stir up the pot, and get things going. Because it's entertainment. That's a lot of people want to be
Gold
entertained.
Professor just did, right? That was entertainment.
Exactly.
Hey, Mr. Black, don't be relegating my conversation to entertainment. I'm not going to tolerate this
jump on my
type of behavior. I'm going to jump on everybody in here talking about my stuff is entertainment.
But when gossip gets to the point, you understand that it becomes so toxic that it is no longer entertainment. And I ain't referring to you, Go Professor, whatever, but I'm just saying in general what you hear on YouTube. I say, wow, you know what? All that is coming from inside of the person.
Yeah, Sheed. You got all that toxicity in you, Sheed.
That's true. It do. It come from inside that person, and a lot of them don't know how to deal with it. So that's why they kind of push it off on other people.
Yeah, Sheed. Stop with all that toxicity. Stop it.
Okay.
you know what, Sheed? You know what, Sheila? How much it costs to drop Sheed right now?
She is priceless. I can't do that to my brother.
Yeah, okay. You know what, Sheed? I'm sliding you an F, sir. I'm sliding you an F. Hey, look, I got to push on. I just came up here to mess with y'all. Hey, you guys, I love you guys, man. Sheila, keep doing what you do, okay? All right. Hey, Mr. Black. Hey, man, keep it strong, man. I see you, brother. Sheed, nephew.
I'll see you later. I see you later on.
Hey,
I'll be
drop.
over there.
Hey,
Yes, sir.
Sheila dropping.
Oh, see, I
Oh
ain't
no,
say
he's
nothing, Mr.
priceless.
Black.
He
Dropping.
just
See,
touched your
see,
desk.
Mr. Black. See
I think
No,
something
no,
why I
no.
wrong with
can't
his
be
connection, Sheila.
why I
Yeah,
can't be
hey,
priceless too. Why I
but
can't be priceless. You know
because you
what?
came.
Ooh,
Hey,
you
hey, hey,
priceless.
He said,
hey, hey,
I'm gonna start
you
some
came up.
drama over
You
here.
came up getting on our brother. You understand? You dig? And like,
Oh
you know.
man.
Okay,
No.
but I
That's because
recognize. But
you know, everybody knows Sheed's mic matters, but sometimes I have to address Sheed's behavior, you know. Sheed's
uh-huh.
behavior. You know?
Hey, but you know something though. Go Professor.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this with you because I do my due diligence. You understand? And like when I hear people speak, you understand? I tend to follow them or whatever. I was just listening to you yesterday.
Yes, sir.
I think you had a 7 hour and some video, and like what were you talking about? I'm trying to remember. But actually, Sheila got it. You understand? In her playlist, you did. She
Oh,
only got two
okay.
times, right? And like Sheila came up and spoke with you, and what have you, and that was a pretty good show.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
well, I listened to a great portion of it. You did. I think I have subscribed to you. I'm gonna try to catch you too when you go live, and
Yes,
when
sir.
you, yeah, you come with it. Uh, and I don't find you as a disappointment or anything like that. I like you equally. You know something? The way I do it, I tell brothers to come on up and come on with it. All right,
Yes, sir.
because I truly have levels to my, to my intellect. All right. I mean, as far uh, as deep as people want to get, and hey, we can do it. I just came on today to explain about this young woman, you understand, and all the other young women that are out there doing the right thing, okay, despite the odds, you know, and
Yes, sir.
that's not you understand to give the other women who are not doing the right things, a pass, but this particular young woman, you understand, because she's doing the right thing, and yet, like I said, life don't owe us anything, and she lost her mother last year, and she just lost her father a couple of days ago. And even as you was talking to Sheed, my daughter was calling me. I just didn't answer the phone. All right, but she's giving me an update probably on Sasha. All right, but go on, brother. Salute, and thank you.
Hey, I appreciate
Excuse me, I just want to say
okay.
good morning to you, Unrated. Thank you for coming in for the support.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I want to say thank you for listening to my channel when you have opportunity. You know, we always hear,
Yeah.
we need to support Black people. We need to support,
Yes.
well, you can say this, say that all day, but what is your actions? What are your actions saying?
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
Okay. You know
So,
something? Hey, you just rung a bell in my head regarding. You understand what your topic was? It was Black Lives Matter.
okay,
That's what your topic was at that particular time. You know,
okay.
and you was trying to ask, exactly what does that mean? You know, and
Yes,
like,
sir.
yeah, I listened to your viewpoints or what have you, and like,
Yes, sir.
hey, we got a long way to go, man. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
ain't no sense in even trying to pretend that we don't. All
Right.
right, we have a long way to go, and we got to really re-embrace that unity that we once had, or that fellowship that we had. All right, but man, there's so many things that's coming up. You dig that? I mean, YouTube is a beast of its own. I'm like, what in the hell do this shit come from? You know, red pill, blue pill, incel, manosphere, and etc. And I
Yeah.
kind of get it,
All the
But
sheetery. All the sheetery.
Right.
hey,
when when in doubt, blame she. That's a
Yeah,
good
all
saying.
of this sheetery.
yeah,
But before you leave, go, Professor, and
Yes,
I just
ma'am.
want to
Yes,
encourage all
ma'am.
my brothers here on the piano. Let me tell you something, because I know we all small YouTubers, and like I said, it's not about the likes, it's not about the views, it's about the messages. That's what it's all about. And like I said, if you could just touch one person's life, whatever you saying and doing is not in vain. So I just encourage all my small YouTubers, don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the likes and the views or whatever. Because the end of the day is what God had for you is for you, and nobody could stop it. You
Hey,
know?
Sheila.
I want to say what I've always said. Sometimes the smaller stores have the best product.
Oh yeah,
So,
and that's another thing that you said. Yeah, I got it. You're right
hey,
on
but I
that
got
one.
to
Because you
push
know,
out,
beautiful
family.
things come in small packages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to push out, family. You
Okay,
guys
brother.
Yeah.
be
Look.
You have a
easy. And
blessed day.
all right.
Yeah.
All right. Later, family.
Okay. All
Okay.
right.
All
Later.
right, Professor.
Yeah.
Ooh
So my
wee.
YouTube family, I mean my Facebook family, listen, this is what we do on YouTube because I can't see my Facebook family who listen and whatever.
Oh,
So
you can't. Oh.
no, they won't let me see their views or whatever. And they can't comment or anything.
You got to get that
But
second monitor.
well, yeah.
Yes. I do, but I'm at my sister house, so
Okay, yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Well, she. Let me ask you something.
Okay.
Why are you on YouTube?
Well, basically, like I always tell people this. I started my own YouTube just to relate a message of just making money and show how easy it is. Cause like I tell people, I drive box trucks, no CDLs, and I make great money. But the thing of it is, a lot of guys, working dead end jobs, pennies on the dollar, not really making no serious money. I try to encourage them to drive trucks or, find other sources of making money. If you're not going to school, if you're not trying to become, doctors, lawyers, professors, doing anything, there's technical jobs you can do. You can go into plumbing, you can go into electrician. No, there's nothing wrong with that. HVAC systems, and driving. That's another technical trade like that. And
Mm-hmm.
I was just more or less starting my YouTube to encourage more people to do that and focus, mainly on the family and the money. But then when I came over in this space because I mostly dealt with a lot of on YouTube. I watch funny videos and I always look up finance and just how to do certain things. But then when
Yeah.
I came in this sector and I started seeing how the system of family was broken
Mm-hmm.
because it was taught. This is taught. That's why people the way they are in some cases because they're taught that the system is broken and there's no way to win. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
that's not true. I look at my family. I look how long my grandparents, my aunts, and all been married for a long time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started looking at other family that I know that been married for years. My great granddad died, married to my great grandma.
Mm-hmm.
I was blessed to be around her and talk to her a lot. I wish I would have
Exactly.
talked. If I had the knowledge I know now, I would have gained way more advance in life because I would have knew the certain questions to ask. As a young man, I only had that ability to be smart to the point where it was more or less not even just book smart, but just have an understanding, about life and a little, more or less on the book smarts too. But once I've graduated, experienced certain things, I knew there was other things behind the book smarts, the lineage. That's what I was missing out on with learning. So that's why I try to promote my channel and talk to people about generational wealth. talking about family, the structure, how to deal with, women, how to deal with the men. Because I
Mhm.
always say you can't put fault on the women without putting fault on the men. Because there's
Right.
no men out here walking A1 100% all the time. And if they are,
Right, G.
that's one individual. That's not a collective.
Correct. And you know something. Speaking of the collective, and like you said, you came on YouTube trying to show guys how to make money and what have you. What I was sitting here thinking was when I was down in Cincinnati working as a chef, the one thing that I really resented about that city is that like that city was about factory work and the uh, the food service industry. And when I would talk with the guys, you dig, who was working, you understand, you dig, in the food service industry and what have you, they had no desire, for upward promotion. They had no desire, you dig, to try to accomplish, greater economic means. They were content, all right, to be food servers and clerks and little things like that. And I'm talking about half of the city, you dig, transport on the bus. Some don't even want cars. They think it's the most normal thing to go out, jump on the bus, and say, "Hey, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna go there, and what have you." You know. And then a lot of the quality jobs is on the outskirts of the city, and those are mainly factories. But the Haitians and the Mexicans and all of them, you understand, they got that, sewed up. And when you look at some of the cities around the country, they have that face. Okay, when you look at the work character, of that city, some guys are stuck in working factories, some guys are stuck in doing this and doing
That's
that.
not true, man.
So what?
Good morning,
Excuse me.
underrated.
Yeah, I think you got your mic on underrated.
Okay, but what I'm saying is that like that was a good noble thing for you to do because um, there are other ways to make money. There are other ways to understand to get paid instead of just staying you dig and just a certain mind frame. All right, because I tried to expand and look. I don't dealt with the Kentucky Derby. I don't dealt with several colleges. Several professional teams. I would not limit myself. You hear what I'm saying? And I got taught valuable lessons down there too. You know, but it's a good thing though. And if that's what you came on YouTube for, man, I salute to you because you know something. Lineage, you dig, has its values. Book smarts, you understand, is only good to talk that intelligent shit. But if you don't have no hands-on experience, you're not really gonna go far. Because even the corporations that talk all the intellectual stuff behind the scenes, all their talk, you understand, is simple and straight to the point. They use the big words, you understand, when they trying to impress the public, you dig, or another a company about their sabe, their organizational language and stuff like that. Anyway, go on, brother. I'll give it back to you.
Good morning, underrated. Thank you for coming on the
Yeah, good
piano.
morning. How you feel? I'm
I'm
sorry.
blessed. How you doing?
Sorry for your loss. My condolences to the family. Much
Thank
prayers
you.
to your family. Send it
Thank
to your
you.
family, please.
Thanks.
I'm gonna say this though. Um, I know that we always gotta improve ourselves. I know we do certain things, but sometimes we can look at a certain person, they do certain things, and we assume. And I think that sometimes when we assume, we don't know what that person' purpose is. I give you case in point, right? I was taking the bus, right? And it was people. They said, "Oh, I don't like people taking the bus. They people taking the bus. They not doing anything. How you gonna say that? You don't know what their purpose is. They probably car got messed up. Probably they so I met a guy that have his own business.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own business. He said I take the bus
All right.
so my wife could go use the car sometimes. You
Um,
know, because they have a child that on disability. And I
okay, hold on.
say, wow.
Wait a minute.
And
I
no,
mean, what are you?
let me finish.
Okay,
Please, let me finish. And so I'm not talking about you. So
okay.
it makes me be aware that people assume. And when I was talking to him, I said, "What you do?" I said, "I do YouTube." YouTube? I'm like, "Yeah, I do YouTube. I do other things too." And I'm like, here's a guy that tell me that he had his own business. Like he said, "Yeah, you do YouTube." I said, "Yeah." I gave my child a raise doctor check. I said, "Wow, I'm liking stuff. I'm gonna put people on." But me and him take the bus. And so when I got older, when I see other people in certain places, I appreciate their well-being. I appreciate their existence because they didn't have to get up
Yes.
and get on the bus and other things. They don't have to do that. They could just give up. I feel this is how I feel my life, and I see certain things, and I think about you sharing the loss and stuff and stuff like that. That gotta be around people that love you for you and encourage them.
Yeah.
Create opportunities. See, that's the problem. Some of us we talk, but we don't create opportunities. So we see a certain person do certain thing. Oh, that person don't want to do that. No, you just do not know the circumstances. And that's what's like when I get up every day, when I pray to God, when I talk to y'all, I'm winning. How many people can say that? So that's why like, for my life, next week, God's willing, I'll be 55. That's a big deal for me. So I see like in a certain perspective that when people get up, maybe they in a bad mood or good mood, you winning. God got you. You winning. How many people could say that? And I fall back.
Okay. Let me say this real quick. When I understand, uh, now you said your expression wasn't in relation to what I said, but let me clarify just a little bit clear. When I said that, understand, the people in Cincinnati understand most prefer to take the bus a day. I'm talking about it's unusual for a person to be riding the bus, you understand, for 10, 15, 20, 25 years. Okay. And as far as motivation, all right. And then, like you said, the one thing that you should never do is assume, you understand, uh, about a person until you actually talk with that person. And I actually did talk with a lot of people down in Cincinnati, a lot. And like that motivation was kind of lacking. All right. Um, and that's kind of like across the country because you know something, we have better options, but we got to share the information. We got
Well,
to we got to share the information.
I
Go
wanted to
on.
say, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, I'm through.
Oh, now I was gonna say, yeah, when it come down to it, you got a lot of people, if you stuck into a certain mindset, because I understand what you're saying. There's people in New York, they come down to Georgia and all that, and they don't get licensed because they think that it's so easy for them just to move around because they used to taking the train. But then when they start to realize that everything's more spread it out, and then it's harder.
Mhm.
Like in certain cities, it's easy to take transportation, but then when you go to others, because one of my wife's cousin was dealing with this girl from New York, and they stayed on the outskirts where the transportation is limited.
Mhm.
Because in the city of Atlanta, them buses
Mhm.
just about go almost even back street. You'll have back streets, them buses go down and everything else. But when it come down to it, they was on the like almost going into the country area. And he was trying to convince his girl to, get licensed, but she was more or less hesitant because she kept saying that, I've been doing this like this and I've been dealing with this way. And she was hesitant to do it. But then you have other people that say, well, I have to get licensed because I have no choice. And I,
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying. It's just more or less with the mindset because even what underrated saying, I knew a girl. I used to ride the bus with this lady. I didn't have a car, and my thing of it was I didn't want to buy one at the time. As far as a car note, I always bought like cash cars. So
Okay.
I was on the train, was on the bus one time talking to this lady, and she was like, "Yeah, I got about 3 cars." She said, "But I don't want to put a lot of mileage on my car. So what I do is I just drive it to the train station, get on the bus, go to work, get off, come back home on the train. It's convenient." She was like, "The only hassle you know, um is driving. You got to deal with all that traffic, and it come down to a point where I get on the bus, I can lay down or lay back in one of these chairs and rest, go to sleep or something. I don't have to
Mhm.
worry about myself trying to um drive and be on alert for traffic." She said, "I don't have to do none of that." She said, "So it's a convenient thing for me. That's why I like it." And and plus, she said, if I get up a little early, I'm able to get to work on time, do what things needs to be done. I never have issue with that.
Okay. Let me say this. I'm glad that you brought up about the bus scheduling and what have you, because the one thing that I did learn down in Cincinnati, like I said, in the sense they had the factory jobs in the sense on the outskirts of the city, right? And then they had the food service you did in the inner city. All right. Now, when those jobs came open on the outskirts of the city, you know something? They had buses that run out there early in the morning, but those buses, you understand, shut down at 6 o'clock, you know, in the evening or afternoon or whatever, and they don't run no more until the next morning. You hear what I'm saying? And like to me, it seemed like it was kind of planned that way because like um, when I understand was working with the temp services or whatever when I first came to the city, I was trying to catch buses out there, and you know something, I got stranded a couple of times because if I had to work understand beyond 6 o'clock, I had to either try to get a cab to bring me back to the city, or if I didn't know anyone you dig out there, I would have to just lay. And it's really crazy, you know, it's crazy. But I
But
was just speaking into that. You put on.
no, I just want to say in New York, there's a lot of people who like up here, upstate New York, they live up here, but they work in New York and they take the train, the bus. See, we do that in New York because it's so much traffic and then we saving money just taking the
Well,
train and
yeah,
the bus
and that's
instead
true.
of driving our cars.
But in Cincinnati, it's not like that. They don't have the trains and what have you. Like she said, uh, he can go to the train station and say park his car. You dig? You know, get on the train, you know, and take off. We down here we call it rapid transit. We go to the rapid transit station. You dig? And like going downtown trying to find some place to park. You dig? And if you want to park in some of the garages, you have to pay $20, $25. You dig? Just for all day parking. See what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm familiar with that. You know.
But I I understand what you're talking about. You know, more or less the mindset because it's funny. I actually used to work for a moving company, so I was all around, and I went to Cincinnati several times. And it was just crazy how everything just shut down at a certain time.
That's
You
right.
know, like you
You
were
know.
saying that the transit system, all that, the stores, it's almost like dusk to dawn time, where back in the day, at a certain time when everything started to get dark, everything was closing, everybody was home. That that's how they had that pushing the the the, uh, the taxis ran, but they only ran for so long. The
Hmm.
buses stopped, because when I used to go in several cities, I didn't never call a taxi. I'll just pull up the transit system and I'll ride buses and things of that nature. Because I remember when I got my first job, and the job I used to get off probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock, and the last train and bus, well, the last bus used to run to like 12 or 12:30. So I used to always miss that bus when I worked, a double. I
Yep.
would have to walk home every night just to, go home. It was relatively. I might pull up the like how. I know it was more than about 5 miles, but it wasn't none of me. I was young, but at the same time, it was just the point of me having to do that in order to sacrifice to make that type of money.
Yeah,
Eh,
but
eh,
and you
eh,
know what? And I'm glad you said that because you're gonna see a lot of people in New York with suits and everything on in the train. And then, let me tell you,
yeah.
something, it's a lot of traffic in New York, and it's hard to find a parking space. I hate driving in New York,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. So what I always do when I drive, I park my car in the garage, and then I go shopping. But I hate driving because it's so much. And
It's
like
crowded.
one lady told me, she been working in New York for like 35 years, and she go to Beacon, drop her car there, take the train to 125th Street, then she got to take another train to her job. But she saved over $500 a month just not driving her car.
Hey, let me share this one experience with you. I remember, you understand, I was serving one night, right? And like I had told, the manager you dig that I was working for. I say, look, I got to get out of here, understand, at a certain time because I got to catch this bus. And they say, oh, you catch the bus, and like stop serving, you understand, at about a half an hour before 12 o'clock. And like the guy told me, oh, the buses stop running at 12:30. So I get downtown Cincinnati, you understand, and like I'm waiting on the bus and I'm waiting on the bus, and like none ever come. You dig? And I'm living out there in the suburbs. Do you know what I had to do uh, that night in order to get, to my apartment? And I lived out in the suburbs. I had to walk almost 8 miles, probably even longer, you know, because everything, had shut down. But the point I was just trying to make, you dig, about uh, the people there is that like they'll become dependent, you understand, on the economic structure there, and that mindset, you dig, it works against them because believe it or not, Cincinnati is a very rich city, but it keeps some of the people there poor. A very rich city, a lot of wealthy suburbs, you know. Uh, when you go to some of the suburbs, they got mansions that you dig in almost the majority of the suburbs you dig. But you look at how black folks are living, you dig, you say, wow, after so many years, they should have been able to improve this. So I get what she is saying about advising people and making people aware of different ways of making money. Because if you go down there and you talk about making money, it's like speaking foreign language to some of the people down there.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that everybody ain't trying to get no money, but shit, it's a whole lot. And I'll be damned if I work on a job for 25 years at the same uh, level you did of employee work in the sense and never get promoted. It just ain't happening. Doing line work, all right, and never get promoted. And you do this for 25 and how many years? That's two lifetimes of employment. You know what I mean?
That's the mindset. Like I said, dealing with that, you don't want to go up, you don't want to go down, you want to be in the
Yep.
same place.
And
Yeah.
the reality is, if you don't show the motivation, the way the society is developed, you understand, and hooked up, you're gonna remain in the same place.
I'm just
But
not
anyway,
saying much because my sister talk in the background. I ain't want no
okay,
interruption.
yeah. Well, um, I don't kind of said my piece, and for the most part, um, if you're about ready to shut it down, Sheila, we can. And let's see.
She, anything you want to say? Y'all can say the last words. Y'all can shut it down.
Well, I just came on primarily, understand, to shout out to uh, the decent woman Sasha that I know of, and like for all you people that like to gossip, who like to put the hate down and what have you, back the hell up with that. You dig? Don't lose your intelligence to some weak stuff, and think that that's a good thing, and think that like you doing quality communication, or that are a quality guy, because that don't make you a quality guy. It really don't. And that's all I really got to say. Oh, and thanks Sheep for coming up as he normally do, and go Professor. You know.
Yeah, and I'm gonna end with this as well. Far as dealing in a relationship, like I always tell people, you got to know who and what you want to do far as in life. That's why I always tell people knowledge of self is key. If you know what you
Yeah.
want, then everything is okay. You can't you can't sit here and have a structure from which somebody else tell you how to live your life and think it's okay, because you'll always be condemning yourself. You'll always won't be able to do better in life because you're so focused on the standard and what somebody else have. You got to have that standard for yourself and live for yourself.
Sheep. You know something? You just made me reflect. You know what is the easiest thing to do with black men and black women?
What's that?
It's the easiest thing to do with black men and black women. You understand? Is communicate. And once you have that communication there, hey, there's nothing that could stop you.
That's
And
true.
and and, and I mean, you know something? I'm just talking about from life experience. When you know yourself, and you know how to communicate, and you know how to listen, The easiest thing to do is communicate with a black man and a black woman.
And
Really.
the funny thing that I say, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna be done.
Yeah.
Marriage is easy. It's not hard work. It's the
Exactly.
communication. That's the problem. See,
Right.
without the lines of communication for you to open up
Right.
and talk, that's when it becomes difficult because you don't
Exa-
know what the other person's thinking. You don't know what the other person's doing. Now, if you lay the communication come in, then the marriage will work because you'll have an understanding of what you need to do. Because marriage is basically just, you know, a joint. It's almost like a joint business venture. I'm gonna say this because Gold Professor said in there. I mean, not Gold Professor, but BGS said it, and it was pretty good. He said marriage should be like a bank, an investment, not the casino where you roll the dice and crap out. You lose all your money.
hmm
So I'm gonna end with that.
Yeah, and we gotta realize too, communication is everything with relationship, with marriage, with family, with friends, just in general. You know, communication is the key to everything because if you don't communicate, and that's how sometimes the devil will play tricks with your mind with things, you know. So,
Right.
like I said, don't think it. If you feel some kind of way, communicate with that person. You know, bring it to
Exactly.
light. You know.
Exactly. Hey, on that note, I'm gonna jump off here. You have a good day. Thanks
Yes.
to the chat. Thanks, to the guys that came up on the panel. And like,
Wait, Honeycomb said Mr. Black never reads the chat when he comes on the panel.
well, I can't see the chat.
Yeah, because some people be on their phone. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I just
Well,
want to.
why would they make that statement though?
No, she was saying. I guess because she was saying something to you.
Who
But
was that?
yeah. But I just want to thank my Facebook family again for tuning in, and my YouTube family. I just want everybody to have a blessed day. And we just want to bring this into light. And Mr. Black want to, shout out to the young lady for the hard work she been doing, all through the crisis she been through, the trials, tribulations, still stay focused. Also about, people gossiping and stuff like that. You never know what a person going through, and also communicate. And if a person finding you something, and don't get mad and tell their business, because at the end of the day, they trusted you, and at that time they feel like they had nobody to talk to, and you was that person they could talk to. So I just want to say that, you know what, just cheers one another. Life is too short. And if you feel some kind of way about a person, put them to the side, talk to them. Like I said, that's when communication come in. Because today we don't want to be a gossiper. We don't want to be a busybody because life is too short. And I always say, treat the day is like this your last day on earth, because the end of the day is we never know when we're going to see each other. But you know what? God is good, because it's not a coincidence that he allowed us to be on social media through Facebook, YouTube, internet, all types, Twitter, TikTok, to see one another, different states, different counties, different cities, and still communicate. And I just want to say, everybody have a blessed day. And you know what? And God loves you, and nothing you could do or say about that.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, I'm gone. Salute, and I'll get a charge later. Peace.